Tuna narupta nakam na lichta to KILI. KILI. Wichoya ke. Oe ha nice ohunkan ka nice ihani. So lichta to kiha. Lil wichoya ka mojuha. Ogna yuhawahi. Sahe yuna yawain. Zatona narupta nakam na lila pilawya. Walehan wana teata ke yagalapi. Wash in Englishana yagalap. Naha Chankugana yagalapi. Chayata angalapo naha Yokpia ketuktel Yakihunikte. Wahochpin in Habekta. Chaya naruptan kapole Dakuku Woyake naha Gnasnakun Owaya chata Naisna Kungana tuktektel Omani Okipi Hena. Wananaku hinya the Lakota yakile iwongalaka. Kona handak toksale woyak kile kuyakak. Acha anaruptan kapo hayaled machpiat chakpe mielo. So thank you. Thank you for listening to our storytelling hour. This is KILI Radio Storytelling Hour. My name is Brian, Charge Cloud. And we're up here every Wednesday evening from 5 to 6. And I want to thank all you listeners out there. Thank you. And most of you are going back from a hard day's work, so have a good trip home. And I always talk about the language when I come up here. And also we touch on both of us work at Wandini District Schools, so we always talk about what we're doing over there to make it a better school, make it a better place for the children, make it a better place for the community, the parents, and we always want to see our students go on to high school. So we'll talk about those. So I will let my nephew introduce himself, and we'll go from there.
Wopila, Lexi Brian. I would like to thank KILI Radio and Giggles, Lexi Brian, and the Lakota Nation out there for allowing me to be on the radio. This is it's a privilege, that we don't take lightly. That there's not many people that can be in my place up here that that can share the things that I've experienced since I've been here on Pine Ridge. I'd like to say hello to Tui Karen. I don't know if she's out there listening or not, but I hope she is. I kind of surprised her last night. We had our spring break at Chankpe Opi, Owaiowa. We had our spring break last week, and I managed to make it to Devil's Tower, Harney Peak, Peshla, and Bear Butte. And the other one that I'd learned of was Iguga. I got a chance to go there, and that's about the story of the young Lakota woman that was rescued by the wolves, and that's where she was raised. It's out there past Mud Butte, about 15 miles past Mud Butte. These are places that and I was talking to Tu and Karen last night that other Lakota have been there before me, but to actually see it in a book and hear other people talk about it. But I went to these 5 sites last week with my time off, and and they are sacred. They are sacred sites. They're spiritual sites. But really, the one thing that I couldn't get over, and I was telling Tui, Karen, and Brian last night, was the generations that have been there before me. My family, the Ghost family, all Lakota. Even Cheyenne that had been to these places. The generations that have went up there and prayed and made offerings. That's really all I could think of was, who was here. I went up there, I made my offerings, and and I knew they were sacred places. but it just kept going through my mind the generations of Lakota that have been there.
Mm-hmm.
That to me is just impressive. You know, they are impressive places. You know, you get a different feeling when you go to them. And I know I kind of did it out of seeing, you know, by going to, you know, 5 sacred sites in 1 week. You know, that's kind of fast food, I guess you could call it. But, you know, I had time off, and, you know, I made the most of it by experiencing these places with my own eyes and with my own feet. You know, being in the classroom and talking to the kids about Devil's Tower, and I've never been there. That it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just happy to be there, and then, you know, my next goal is to actually go to these places at the right times of the year. Mm-hmm. You know, that's my next step, to go there and, you know, give my offerings and you know, and pray. But it's just, you know, I was just thankful that we have places like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, as Lakota, you know, Cheyenne, that we have places that we can call our own. Mm-hmm. You know, those are our places. In the Black Hills, Pasapa is it's a lot bigger than what I thought when I got on top of Harney Peak.
Yeah.
Wow, you know, it's the closest thing to being on top of the world. Absolutely, what an incredible sight. You know, and I kept thinking, when I went to Devil's Tower, when I was walking around, you know, on that paved pathway that they have there, you know, and I wasn't so much looking at Devil's Tower, but looking to the outside of Devil's Tower, and imagine the generations that have camped there, mm-hmm. that got married there, you know, all the, you know, our seven sacred rites that were practiced there. Mm-hmm. That was one thing that I kept thinking was, you know, the history of these places, and it's, you know, it's way beyond me, but, you know, I got a little taste of it, and it's absolutely amazing. If you ever get, you know, being Lakota, we should all go to these places, but absolutely amazing. And I'd like to say hi to Chuck. He's, you know, they're working on a school at Chunk by Opioiwa. Him and his crew. He's out in Martin. We'd really like to say hi to him. He's a wonderful, wonderful man, and he's really, really interested in the Lakota culture and the language. Yeah. So,
Chuck and Tom.
Yeah, Chuck and Tom,
yeah.
Definitely.
Tom, if you're listening, have a good evening.
Have a good evening.
And also, we always say good evening to Baha too. Baha, if you're listening, you and your wife. And he's a family man. No?
Oh yeah.
Your daughter.
You know, we've seen him up there at the Transitional Living Center, and you know, it's just impressive. You know, there were students there from Holy Cross out in Boston. You know, I don't know if they fully got the gratitude of what he's accomplished. You know, and you've even said it before, you know, Paha, if you're listening, that, you know, you gain another soul. Yeah. You know, when you become fluent in the Lakota language. And I'm trying every day. You know, I know if Paha can do it. I know I can. So, but just it's impressive.
Doing it right now. You're doing it.
Very impressive.
You're making good progress. So that's really good. Like we always say that whenever we come up here, we always use 2 words. That's commitment and perseverance.
Perseverance.
Yeah. And you have those, and you get that someone to motivate you and motivate yourself, mm-hmm. and have those 2, and you can do it. It's like Baha. And these sites that you mentioned, sacred sites, it is very important to our children, so that they will carry that on. And I think I mentioned this before, like when I was their age, I never got a chance to
right.
to like visit Horny Peak, or they call it Hihanka.
Yeah.
And then Devil's Towers, the Lakota. And then Preshla, that's Hill City, and then Matropaha,
Yep.
And then now you went to Irura. That's, not too many people visit that one, but I did, and it's, it makes you really like these stories that we tell up here. Some of them are we call it iachi. That means that some of them we say hechel lechel ya unkdeshni. That means we tell stories that actually tell you that you don't want to live like that, or you don't want that to happen to you. Or the other stories, this iachi means that just like this one we're going to tell. There's stories, there's lessons that you learn from these stories. So that Irura, when you talk to their relatives, the great granddaughter used to live in Ritzgaffel, and they tell stories about that. So that, to me, that's, that most likely that happened.
Oh yeah.
That this young lady was taken in by the wolves, and she communicated with them.
Mm-hmm.
They saved her life, and they took her back to her people.
And that's one thing that I did get, when I was up there, and the things that I did see, it's kind of some of them are unexplainable. Like the little caverns, and the little caverns, and then all the rocks piled up where there was places there that were, you didn't know what was behind those rocks.
Yeah.
So and I kept relaying that story, and that kept relaying that story to myself, and it is believable.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This isn't just some fairy tale that somebody made up. I was there and I seen it with my own eyes.
Yep.
And that's one thing that I can say now is that I was there and I seen it, and that story makes more. I'll tell you, first off that the story I just it was another story, but I seen it with my own eyes, and that story is. In my eye is believable. In my mind now, it's believable.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I'd never been to Hihankaga. We took the kids up there, and I knew it was there. I could always see it in the distance, 100 miles away.
Yeah.
One day I'll go there. One day I'll go there, and that translates into one day I'll learn the Lakota language. I was there.
Yeah.
I was right at the top, and I will, just like everything else, if you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything, and what gives me more motivation and more drive is that I am Lakota, first and foremost. Mm-hmm. I know the English language pretty good, and I haven't mastered it all that well, but, Lakota, to me, is where it's at.
Yep.
Definitely is where it's at.
And like you during our break, you mentioned that you have visited all these sites, and that is something that you always use the word awesome. That is awesome. To go to Horny Peak, and then next day you are at Devil's Tower, and then you're at Preshla, and then you're at this Irura. That's way out there past. If you know where Newell is, most people probably don't know where Newell is. Newell is about 20 miles north of Bear Butte, and then from there it's another about 30 miles. The place called Mud Butte, and that place is closed down.
There used
to be a gas station, but there's nothing there. And then past that, you have to look for that turn to go south. And then once you make that turn, then you run into those two buttes, and one of those is the Iruga. Yeah.
If anybody, I know exactly where it's at. I can take you right to it. If anybody wants to know how to get to any of these places, I'd be more than willing to go again, without a doubt. You know, you just get this feeling, you know, this feeling over you that, you know, and for me it was the generations that were there before me.
Well, I'm really glad that you had the energy and the
yeah,
fortitude and to do this, and that's, you know, like you mentioned this before, that working at a school, you talk about these places, and when you're there and you're on top of that mountain, or else you walk around Devil's Tower, or you're at Irura, and you tell these to these children, and you have been there, so you can actually tell the story,
right? You know, just
and not just stand there and tell something that you never see.
You never seen.
Yeah.
And it's not seeing it, you know. And I'll tell you, first and foremost, Peshla. You know, if you were to look at it,
there's nothing there.
There's nothing there. You know, it's not. Yeah. It's just it's an open pasture. Yeah. But you know, I got on top. You know, there's like a little altar of rock set up. Yeah. But then you start looking around you.
Yeah.
You know, and I took pictures. You know, 360 degrees all the way around. Of what made that? You know, why is it bare? There's no trees there whatsoever. You know, other than being, you know, kind of the center of the Black Hills, but impressive. You know, but what's impressive about it is this feeling that you get inside of you. You know, that you know, once again, that, you know, that's why it is a sacred site, and it has been a sacred site since who knows when. You know, so but all the sites that I had visited, and I wish there would have been more. But I did find one, Medicine Wheel.
Yeah.
I will go there.
That was another one that you and Karen mentioned.
Yep.
And that is you can when you do that, then you can also stop at the Greasy Grass.
Greasy, right?
Yeah, on the way up there, and that's. I have never been there myself, this Medicine Wheel. But I want to go there someday. Maybe we should all get in that van.
And just go.
Let us go in that van. We'll just take off one Friday and go through there. Yeah.
Oh, the one other thing too. I was talking to Tu and Karen last night that Chichasha.
Yeah, Chashasha. Yeah.
Chashasha. It seems to be more red
in the Black Hills.
Yeah. You know, I took 3 sticks the proper way. You know, I smudged azalea, and I left tobacco. I mean, the sticks that I had cut, so they can grow back. You know, I did it the proper way, but they're more bright red than they are in Gordon or Wakapamani or anywhere else. They just seem to be a little bit more red. I don't know why that is, but
maybe it's more. Maybe the land is more. What do you call it? Fertile.
Fertile, yeah.
More water.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But that was my experience for that week, and I wouldn't trade it. Yeah. You know, I had a chance to go back home to Michigan, or go back to Michigan, but you know, I thought about it, and I didn't have to think very long or very hard about it because I know where I'm going and I know what I'm going to do. So I wouldn't trade it for the world. I wish I could have had a caravan of 50 other people behind me doing the exact same thing, but in time.
Well, that was good. And then I want to thank the school for letting put a bus on that. To go to 100 Peak, and the driver and all those parents that went.
Tanya, you know, Cowboy, and Anthony. I really want to tell them thanks. You know, for you know, help setting it up and help drive and the logistics and you know, the overall care of the kids.
The food staff.
The food staff, facilities.
Whoever made those sandwiches.
Yeah.
I think,
Julie met us over there. At
okay.
it was 6:30 in the morning on Saturday. And Julie Graham in the kitchen. Really want to thank her.
Mm-hmm.
Because they do it because they know it's for the kids. That's the best part. And the kids that we did have there, they were very appreciative.
That's really good when you have that support. They always say that, like whenever we touch on the Lakota language, and only one person cannot make it. Like revitalization movement to really be strong.
Right.
It takes everybody. It takes not only the school, the Lakota teachers, the administration, the parents,
and that's
community.
Kind of the same thing. That the meeting that we had today with our middle school, upper elementary. Ethan Cha, Marnie White Wolf. I like to tell her hi. With Helen and Deanne and Jocelyn, it goes right back to what you said, that, the upper elementary there, we're going to try something new next year. Not one person can make that happen.
Yeah.
Not just one. Our schedules, that's going to take a cooperative effort from everybody. And I'm glad you brought that up, that, that's another undertaking we're going to try next year to become a better school. Just not one person can make the schedule, and there's logistics that go along with that, and Joey and security. Security at that school. John Boy, if you're out there listening, Anthony, if you're out there listening, are doing a great job. More than just keeping kids from raising Cain in the hallways or the classrooms or anything like that. Those kids do listen to those guys.
They're not really there to as security.
No.
They're
more of like a counselor.
Yeah.
Really, I do believe that in my classroom, if something happens, they're right there. They're talking to the kid. They're not hauling them out in handcuffs or anything like that.
No.
They're talking to them first and foremost, and that's it. 99% of the time, that's all they have to do. To me, that's impressive. But they're from Oyukwe, and they know what's happening. So, and those kids do respect them. That's a good job on their part.
So that's well, we will try and make it to Medicine Wheel.
Definitely.
The battlefield.
Yeah, that's another sacred site. Well, a triumphant site anyway.
Yeah. The other one is all the other schools are also doing visits like this.
Oh yeah.
Because you mentioned that there were other schools there when you got it. When the knee went up there, and I'm sure that wasn't the only day. They probably went
other days
before. There was other schools there.
Other schools are doing it. Takini, Tushunke Wiko was there. That's they're all
Crazy Horse and Takini.
Makpia Luta. They had been up there.
Yeah.
So that makes me happy though that in the virtual high school there in Manderson, they participated too, which was awesome. I'd like to tell Carol and Eli Tail hello, and I'm glad that they're interested in it, and she's getting her virtual high school students interested in that, because this is our culture, and the more people that we can get on board with this, the better. That's absolutely awesome. And I'm sure that's the other thing too, is I'm sure there's a lot of people that would love to go, but just don't have the means or anything like that. But and I put it out there before we left that this is almost like a community event.
Yeah. You mentioned the planning that we just came from. And
yeah.
one thing they mentioned there, and that I was sitting there, that is very important, and that is when these children go to that school and they have a desk, that is their home.
Yep.
I mean, it is something that's that you can call. That's my desk. The pencil in there is mine. That notebook is mine.
Yep.
And to make that keep that. They were talking about moving the teachers will be the ones that will be moving.
Right, from classroom to classroom.
That's good because it is very important. Instead of moving the students around, students will always have a place to, that's called mine.
Yeah.
It's going to be theirs.
And they don't have to
That's important.
share anything.
Yeah, they're not going to share it with somebody else.
Right.
And that is really important. Like, for me, that'll be like, I think that's really important. Because sometimes you go home and maybe sometimes you don't have something
your own space.
Your own space.
Right.
Yeah. Or you put a can of soda in your refrigerator and then it'll be gone.
It's gone. Exactly. Exactly.
I mean that kind of feeling.
Yep.
I'm not saying that everybody does it. We were going to. Stephanie came to the school. When was it? The day before yesterday.
Day before yesterday.
She has some really good ideas on the curriculum.
Mm-hmm.
We call that Wonspe Chanku. Education.
Mm-hmm.
Literally translated, that means education road. It is. But if you're listening out there, Stephanie, you're invited to come anytime and talk about Lakota language, anything. And then we also have the language. There's going to be a lot of planning for our vision in our Lakota language here at where we work, and whether like right now we have Lillian. She will be back. I'm hoping that she will be back like in September or August, whenever we start.
Whenever we start, right?
And then we're moving people around so that like maybe you and I will move down the hall, and then I don't know about the other the first and kindergarten first graders, but that has to be like from now on we're going to have planning meetings every Tuesday I think, and then we do have Lakota language meetings on Thursdays. So anybody that's all you the Oyuchpe Oyate, if you're listening out there, on Thursday evenings at 4 o'clock we usually meet in the Lakota language. And just for like half hour. We just talk about whether it's planning or whether it's like if you have any ideas or methods or
want to be heard
or want to be heard.
Yep.
Come over and the door is open and there's no itancha there. We just sit around the table.
Yep.
And,
there's
yeah.
Make up our own rules.
Yeah.
You know,
we make our own rules.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I'd like to just mention that, and also the fatherhood meeting. I'm going to mention this for them because that used to be on Thursday evenings, but now that's moved to Monday
evenings.
So all you fathers out there that need are invited to go to that. They have a meal and they have to sit there and talk about fatherhood. It's just like parenting, right?
Yes.
So that's part of it. And then and that's the language. We always, when we come up here, we always talk about the Lakota language. And I think when I came up here last time, I talked about it and why it's like this, where we're going. So I'm not going to get into that tonight, but I will say that the Lakota language is very important. And that's like during lunchtime, I was going towards the post office, and there was, remember that program that comes over at noon time from New Mexico. They always talk about Native American issues,
right?
And then they had some people from I think they were Apache, and they mentioned the language, their languages. They said that their primary concern now is to revitalize their language and culture. And language is culture, culture is language.
Right.
So it is very important. And so that's that is that. And then one time I came up here, and this is March 30th now. Tomorrow's March 31st.
Oh.
Then we go into April. In the middle of April, around there, we always have proms.
Yeah.
And then the graduation will come right after that, maybe. So we only have like say a month and a half, maybe. And if you haven't prepared, then what did you do when you graduated? Did you have to buy new shoes and a jacket?
No, we had for prom, we just went and rented everything. And graduation, I borrowed my older brother's stuff.
Yeah.
I was going to wear it for an hour or so anyway. But those things that they cost a lot of money.
Nowadays it's all rental, right?
It's all rent and tux and a car and hotel and dinner, and I wouldn't want to be a teenager today. 'Cause I'd be one broke teenager, I'll tell you that.
So get ready, prepare now.
And prepare mentally. There's a lot of knuckleheads out there on the road that are doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
So you look out for yourself and whoever's in your car.
Yep.
Wherever you're at.
Yep.
If you're in Rapid or Spearfish or Sturgis or knuckleheads are everywhere. So you really have to look out for yourself and look out for your friends. Get to where you're going safely and get back to where you came from safely.
Just be safe. And then the other one is pictures it cost money. The cards that you send out, they cost money. Unless you can make them yourself. Nowadays, people make them
it's cheaper.
Computer, right? Oh,
yeah, right on the computer.
Yeah.
Printing paper.
Yeah.
That's cheaper than going to Rapid City and using
get them
printed by whoever prints them up there.
It costs you money.
A lot of money.
Yeah. Well, we have a story here, and we have. It is called a KILI Radio Storytelling Hour, and you're listening to 90.1 right here from the Butte, and 88.7 in Miniluza, Rapid City, and KILIradio.org on the internet. So I'd like to say hello to all the listeners on the internet, and Dona Lakota Yapi na nach umpi anopta na kapenen na kumpilang yapi. So the story tonight, I got this from Karen, and we told a story up here about Wichachpi Oyate, the star people.
Right.
And this is also about the star people, but this one is about the meadowlark. In fact, the title of this is the Meadowlark and His Necklace.
Okay.
And the necklace is Wanapi. And this is like, maybe there is a lesson here. Or maybe there's Remember I said waliachi. Waliachi means that I don't want to be like this, or I want to be like this, or I don't want this to happen like this. So I will let you do the English, and I keep saying I'm going to let you do the Lakota. That's our goal. That's going to be pretty soon. Yeah.
The meadowlark and his necklace. Wanapi'i. Long time ago, on a beautiful moonlit summer night, two sisters came out to cool themselves from the warmth of their home. They laid back against their teepee and were gazing toward the night sky, watching many twinkling stars. After a while, the younger sister said to her older sister, "I wish to marry that big twinkling star above us," referring to the brightest star that seemed near above them. The other sister replied, "Myself, I would like to marry the one that is far away," meaning the one that twinkled far into the distance. Not long after, the stargazing sisters fell asleep. When they woke up, they found themselves in a strange, bright place. The stars the sisters wished for as their husbands had come after them in their sleep and took them to their homeland, the sky, as their wives. The sisters lived happily with the star people, Wichakpi Oyate. When it was time to harvest wild turnips, and the sisters were also preparing to harvest, however, one of the sisters, the younger one, who had gotten pregnant, was told to be careful and not to dig turnips. Not realizing what the warning was about, she began to help her older sister dig for turnips. Just as she pulled out the root of a large turnip, it made a hole that showed the earth below the clouds. Out of curiosity, the young woman peeked down the hole. She recognized her village and saw her parents' teepee. She immediately became homesick. The young pregnant woman decided to go down for a visit and began to make a long braid of the wild turnips. She thought she would braid one long enough to reach the earth and begin to lower herself down. But the braided turnip rope did not reach the ground. She thought she could jump the rest of the way and let go of the rope. Unfortunately, she lost her balance and fell to the ground. The pregnant young woman did not survive the fall, but her son did. An eagle happened to be nearby when the girl fell. Seeing the child needing help, he picked up the baby boy and took him back to the highest tree where the eagle had his nest. At first, the eagle was able to care for the child, but as the child grew, he became more active. This concerned the eagle. He feared that the child would fall down from the tree and get hurt or get killed. One day, the eagle called a meeting with all the other birds in the area. The buzzard volunteered to bring a meal, as he wanted to feed the child, but he was told to take the meal away as it was spoiled and could cause the child to get sick. So the buzzard took his food a distance away and was feasting on his own. In the meeting, the other birds began to volunteer to take the child, but the eagle decided against them, as they all have high nests high above the ground. They were all wondering where the child would be safe. Then one of the birds had the idea of appointing the meadowlark, because this bird nests on the ground in the bushes. This would be the safest place for the child. The meadowlark began to protest. "I am small. How can I protect and take care of this child?" The other birds told him they would help feed the baby, play with him, and help keep him safe. So the meadowlark agreed to take the child as his nephew. The meadowlark was a good uncle. He taught the boy many things: to hunt, play, to make things, to protect himself, and to survive. He also taught the boy to talk and whistle. All other birds also helped. The boy grew quickly into a strong young man with many skills. He, in return, began to help his uncle, the meadowlark, who had raised him. One day, the young man decided to go out and live on his own, but before he left, he told his uncle, the meadowlark, "Uncle, I am leaving now, but before I go, I wish to place this necklace on you to honor you for all you have done for me. You have provided me a wonderful life and taught me many things. You shall wear this necklace to know that I will never forget you." Then the young man placed the necklace he had made for himself over his uncle's neck. To this day, the meadowlark can still be seen wearing this necklace.
to KILI happy na le othai hanya pa abza khayel to chinchalanum ya na vi khosh kala ka num to ki inap khapina ha ti agala to ki ka chindila uyuk pina chetso na ku osnish na lila na ku makhpiashni Chatak male makata kaya to hanta na wina ha uchach pikle na ta utha viak pakpala he chacha to ki tiala na phi icha yuka na phi makata kaya eto khpa ha uchach pikle na wang khpa wato ha khpa pon wato han le khosh kala kila waji heye to ki he chue le uchach pi wa lila thanka cha wiak pakile le hingana wa wachiwe to ki umanke sa na rupta khpa helaka watohan isha he mish Majili laka kiat khehan chach pe machikala cha wiak pak pahinga ki he cha hingana ma wachiwa ngata ke to khpa no to ki stima pino chacha watohan ki kitapon khai uktetu thanshne yukhan le wichach pe hingana wichapi takapu henecha Aucha kipina ha wichaiza hana ha hetan le wichachpi oyate hetia yokpia umpi watohan wana toki le timsila kalinachi watohan snalena okapi wayan wana timsila okakton khaim le waji wich khosh kala ka kila waji na ko iglush ak hotel kya ka ni han teams la at anta wa ktayo api na to ki dilo ka khni khshni sach chale chweku ki okay teams la ka okay na ha wa to han teams la wala hutet khankacha okay na ha Yujon, le vichachpi oyate makhoche le khloka oyukhlok. Kuta kaet wan khan tukteta ha hiki wank. Ona na kutukter tipi ki wank. Ona na kun le hunkuna atskuk tukin na ko hena wanchank. Ochawa charana chanteshite. Yokpishni. Ocha toki twenio kiakishni toki kutagalachi yokshijacha. Ocha wanchagana toki yukcha le timsila kile ota ukina ha le na iha sumke. Ona ha kuta kia hena toki bayate thaki wanchagalake inkte hechas yukcha nan checha. Hoyash toki le timsila sumpike le yeha haskish. Chawato la kihundi na hoyatanto ki psicha. Tia hali hankach. Hoyash lila mankatia cha toki kutaglich pain. Kutaglich pa. hona toki naku I gilichpaya ha nisni kat hoyash le iglis akin ha le hukshila yuhaki le ni acha hona hegilichpa puha toki uambli wanjdiakat ncheche tukte wainchang uambli kile le hukshila kile ichu na tukte uambli kile na chiwa kati alila wa hochpit kiha kiglepit hechiwa kata ki hona wana atoha yohayun kha le hukshila kile thanka chel chinlila is skehana cheche kai le uambli kile lila yukcha le chuna hikhpak wana wayazinch tenais na kuichikte Kochampet wel mobilikile komunitio yoha na le zentkala kile niha wichakch Nukhahel hetawan khohina ha wait aglo ha hina toke uslak le kuktash wichalap Nishnala hina galuta yo yap chile hechagla na taku kash yuta chugana uslak le wa kushjakt Teishnala galuta kap Hoilo benitze kilichu hawana in le zentkala kile na yuha le hushla kile awanka chimpi ho ash le moblik le yukcha khale na yuha is le wa hochpi kile na le chawanka kiglepi chatakovni to honi le hushla kile hechimakata o kiktish nabanasna ko khfain Jaile obnitze yaha kahana toha ton khamanji he le khashiag maka helop kha le khashiag maka koganas le ye awan ke hanta hushla ke le ta ungteloe chinle khashiag maka ke le na le wa hoch pikele na chawan kalchne le oblaek ta pejima hel wa hoch pikele na kiglep وانا تخشيغ مكاكله هي ابو هي وترنا هي واكيك تشني لو ليلا ماتيك على لو تتهوني له وشلاك له تا اون بلاك واكيك تشني لو ايه من خمان كله نا يوها هي في توكشا اوني جاك تلو اب توكشا كيش اويت مكاو تلو اب وهل اوكي تشابي ابي هي خاطر يومي هنا تا انا le ushla kile tronska eki tronska kile is leksie nadila le trashag moka kile le ushla kile wanspekia ta kulila otanspekia wana se wanspekia onan kut skata pe wanspekia ta kut kache kie nako Naku night vision. Teki heno speki. Tukeshke night vision ha ni teki he. Ona naku wogalaka speki. Hoye chang lehan ktek tel wichoya ke kitkhashag muka ke na Lakota yapi kap. Ona naku joloa speki. Ona uma tkala ke ha okyap. Kukhla ke lilo khankhi chaghe na waton ton khawana semne. Nalila Hanski nalila Hanka na wash up. Ata na ta itachel la khalila ta le trashar mukakle la ta itachel chankeli la ta itach. Apetu el watohan tushla kele le wichasha wanas wichasha hingla. Semni. Watohan ukiake lekshi وانا ابرامنك تلوه وانا مش اتكتل تخوش وناس وهوخ بمجيو وقارنك تلوه هو اش تاكو تشبك تلوه تين تيوني هاي لوه نها ليلا تاكو تا سبمك نها او ليلا واشتنا كرماك ولوه le وانا كما وقار لوه le chich buktuloe Atu hun echik turjing teshniloi. Hechuna le wana pinkele ichuna ha. Khashiag makakele na pinkia. Ochalahan khashiag makonji walaka pihata wana pinkele hechuna. Keapi. Oh, hechit. Hale wapila kiewin le Twichu Lydia Haas Satan le Wichoya Kikichu. Oh Hitchit. So that is the story of the Meadowlark.
It's a good story.
Well, he believes that, and you know, sometimes we hear about the stories about the Meadowlark that he can speak Lakota.
Lakota,
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was given to him. Yeah, there was some other things that that I got out of it. They all they made a decision to appoint the Meadowlark, and the Meadowlark accepted. Though he thought he was too weak, that he couldn't do it. It turned out that he was the best. He was the best choice.
Yeah.
So if you think you can't do something,
do it.
Obviously, you will be able to do it.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good idea not to let buzzards feed your kids. You don't know what you're gonna. They might get something off 18 out by Gordon, and out by wherever, and try to feed it to your kids. Don't let buzzards feed your kids. Now I know where braided turnips come from.
Yep.
That's another story right there.
That's another story
in itself. The colors on the breast of the Meadowlark.
The other thing is, if you're told not to do something, think about it.
Think about it.
The young lady that dug in.
Right. Be careful who you want to marry.
Yeah.
You don't know where you're going to end up. And then honoring elders for their accomplishment. Yeah. He accomplished raising that, his Toshka in a good way. Yeah. So that was his Lakshi. That was very good. Be careful who you want to marry. Don't let buzzards feed your kids. Maybe it may be better where you're at. Instead of braiding turnips to get to somewhere else. And it goes back to the grass is always greener on the other side. The grass may be greener where you're standing. And I can relate that to my own, the short time that I've been here. That Michigan's better. Well, guess what? It's not. This is where I belong, and kind of that story right there. So.
Also, that young lady got lonesome.
Yeah.
Yokshiche. So
Yokshiche.
I always tell the young people, like you went through that.
Right.
When you went to the army.
Yep.
When you get lonesome out there, more than likely you might get in trouble, or you're going to just leave. And you can't do that when you sign that contract.
Right. Or all these students from here in Pine Ridge going off to schools.
They get.
They go somewhere on a basketball scholarship, knowing darn good that they're better. They're better than the other players there. They didn't want to come home.
Yep.
That's stand your ground, bravery.
Yeah.
And that goes. We can tie it all together.
Yep, there were some good lessons in there.
Oh yeah, I really appreciate that. It was a great story.
So if you go somewhere to school, don't get lonesome and
stick it out.
Just stick it out or tough it out.
Tough it out, right? Karen was always telling me about that. That guys would go to California, Lakota, men and women, would go to Florida or Texas and get good jobs and. And they get so lonesome for home that they'll hitchhike back.
Well, during the relocation era, in the early 50s or late 50s, they send a lot of Lakota people to Dallas, Texas, L.A., Cleveland, all over. And they're supposed to stay over there.
Right.
Join that mainstream America, but they only stayed there until that money ran out and they all came back.
I'm going back home
with their Ivy League pants.
Right.
Well, anyway, I want to thank the KILI Radio for this storytelling hour, and I want to thank all the listeners out there. And we'll be back again next week.
Yeah.
So have a good evening. We'll turn it back over to Studio A.
Studio A.